Hey, this is Dave with Brazos Barbell, and today we're going to talk about one of the finer points of bench pressing I guess I've been skipping with some of my most recent videos, and that would be the topic of how hard you should let the bar sit onto your chest at the bottom of the bench, and I guess the different styles and some of the advantages and disadvantages that either the soft touch bench where you don't let the bar sit on your chest very hard, or the sinking bench press where you let the bar get into your body a little bit more and maybe even lose a little bit of tightness to try to create some acceleration, get a little bit more leg drive out of the bottom. So we'll cover some of that and maybe who the different styles would work best for and some of the variations that we can use with exercise selection to increase the strength in either variation. So if you follow my training, you'll see that I do a lot more of a sinking touch. So on all of these, you'll see how much I let the bar get into my body a whole lot more than just letting it sit softly on my chest. But the big point with this is that I'm not relaxing. So one of the big cues that I use is that I want to meet the bar with my body, and my arms may get a little bit relaxed, but my body is really pushing aggressively into it. And so this works well for creating momentum with my body. And you can see here with my personal record 408 at Raw Nationals this year that the bar doesn't really seem to drop much when it's sitting on my body, and I'm very much relaxing, but I can use a good amount of force from my chest and from my legs to really press the bar back and up with the rack. So these 3-count pauses that I'm doing are a really effective tool for teaching me to stay really tight throughout the whole rep. The tendency a lot of times with the sinking touch is to get down and relax. A lot of times you'll see the person's elbows drift back towards their shoulders at the bottom instead of staying closer to hips, like in the last video that I made about bench pressing and where all their elbows should be. So the sinking bench I think can be super effective for people if you do a good job of staying tight. So that's kind of the caveat with this, is that if you're maybe less experienced and you don't do a good job of consistency with your tightness in bench pressing, that a softer touch may be a better option for you, at least in the beginning, just to learn consistency and to better understand the mechanics of where the bar needs to go and really how you need to create tightness through your legs. So the other side of this is that there is a very big potential advantage by letting the bar sit into your body. This is the only lift that we have the opportunity to use your body to create momentum from the bottom. Neither deadlift nor squat have that, but the bench, we have something to rest the bar on and to get a little spring off the bottom. So in my mind, I think we need to use it, but it depends on the experience level of the lifter, whether that actually can become an advantage. If you let it sink into your body and you lose tightness, then it probably becomes a disadvantage. So you can see with all these reps, even though it's sinking, I stay tight, I meet the bar, and it really creates a lot of speed and momentum from the bottom. So that's really the caveat, is that it can be a great tool if utilized correctly. But there are some people who could really benefit from more of the softer touch, and I think generally the people who get the most out of doing a soft touch rather than the sinking touch like I do would be people who struggle with tightness and people with very big arches. So you get somebody like Sean Noriega, and since switching from the softer or the sinking touch to more of the soft touch, his bench press has improved dramatically. He just has such a short range of motion to start off with that he gets more out of the reduced range of motion than he does from the increased speed off his chest from the sink. So that's something to consider. I think the tightness component is going to be the first thing, but then after that, if you look at the lifter and it's somebody who has very short arms or very big arch, you may just want to optimize that advantage that they have already rather than just trying to create extra speed from it. So either way, I think there's some good options to help build tightness and build consistency through just variations with the bench press. So some of those can include the 3-count pauses like I put in the workout that I showed earlier, and other things like Spoto presses, tempo benches, just a slower controlled eccentric portion of the rep, even something like touch and go. So we'll go into all of those. So the first one is going to be the 3-count bench press, which is going to be great for both styles, the soft touch and the sinking touch. We're just emphasizing the bottom portion of the movement. So for people who do the sinking touch, it forces tightness. We have to stay tight at that bottom position. And actually it helps you use your legs a little bit on the way up. For the soft touch, you're just spending time at the bottom of the bench in the hard part, building strength there. So this is a tempo bench where we're controlling the tempo, lowering it a whole lot slower than we normally would. Both variations benefit a lot from this. It builds a really good bar path, really emphasizes tightness and just good rhythm through the whole thing. So the next one will be a Spoto Press, which I think the sinking touch gets a whole lot more out of, because sometimes with the sinking touch, we're essentially skipping the bottom phase as we're using momentum, using our body to get the bar moving. So this is a good variation to build muscle, build strength at that bottom phase and emphasize a portion that a lot of times we're making easier through that style. Touch and go benching will probably be more beneficial for the soft touchers. And I like this one because it probably allows us to use more reps, but we still have to stay tight through the whole thing and we can't get sloppy with it. And lastly, really the best thing that you can do to increase your bench press is just build a lot of muscle. So general hypertrophy work, dumbbell benching, push-ups, dips, all the standard kind of bodybuilding exercises are really what's going to get your bench press best long term. So practice technique, use those variations that I have in the video, but those are going to be a lot more on the technical side of things. Those will really increase your proficiency with bench pressing, but long-term increasing volume, increasing just the size of your muscles is really what's going to make the bench press better long-term really than anything else you can do. So thanks a lot for watching the video. Ask me more questions. This video came from just a lot of questions that I received. So if you have questions for me, then I'm happy to make videos to answer some of those. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. See you next time.